We're in the show.
We are live. Welcome to the Parts Girl Live. Hey, Russell, thanks for being my co-host this month.
I'm excited. I'm pumped. Let's do it. Do you all see our special guest that we have?
Okay, so at first we were having Joe Chambers, but he is very, very sick, unfortunately, and he just had a birthday, which is so sad. So we have Eric now. Eric's able to join, and he's coming soon.
So yeah, technical difficulties. And for those that you don't, I'm gonna attempt to say it right. Howdy, Eric Howdy.
Oh, good. Thank you for trying to say it because I can't.
Oh yeah, I practiced it, and I bet I got it wrong too. Eric will straighten this out when he gets here. But what are we talking about today, Kaylee?
So I
talking about your new house and the baby coming and stuff like that, which is really cool too.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm starting to set up my office, kind of. I have shelves with cool things on it, and I need more books. I have these are my only books, so I need more.
Where are they at?
Where are my books?
Yeah, are they still in boxes and you just haven't unpacked them yet? Or
no, that's all I have because I had very limited space, so I always just don't like stuff. But now I have more space; I can get more books.
There you go. We'll see this morph and change over time, but I don't know how many people are there. But hello, everybody! I'm really glad to be on with Kaylee for a few co-hosting episodes. And I think probably everybody that's on knows who we are. It's not like we have a bunch of new people. We might have. If you're new out there, drop a chat and say hello and introduce yourself. And Eric will hop on in a minute. We're going to be talking about what fixed operation trends. That's what we're going to be talking about.
Yep, that's what we're talking about. And Eric's been traveling all over because he was at a dealer group and now he's with National Auto Care, which is now, what is it? APAC Holdings. I don't know the official name, but now he's an official trainer, fixed ops trainer. So he's traveling. So he's got all the insight. So we've got to ask him a bunch of questions.
Yeah, he travels everywhere. And he was and still is Joe Chambers' right-hand guy. I don't know how long he was at International Autos, but it's a fairly large automotive group. And Joe Chambers oversees that. Like Kaylee said, he was going to be our guest tonight, and he may even have COVID. Don't really know. It's not like him to be this sick. He's pretty sick.
Yeah.
So well wishes and prayers for him and his family.
Yeah, hopefully he gets better soon. So
is anybody chatting with us? Is anybody out there chatting? Are you out there? Who are you?
Let us know. That's what makes the show fun. I do see Charity. She said a great show tonight.
Oh,
so she's here. Maybe.
Great show. Well, the show is yeah. So for those that you I'll just go ahead and say this. So some of my words might come across like, what's wrong with Russell tonight? Well, so I got some new teeth. I got some implants. Okay.
Oh.
Yes. And so I go back. I had it put on yesterday, and it's like I had a denture in there before, and it's like you have to learn everything all over again. But for the first time in almost 2 years, I have my palate. So and I haven't even had my palate before. So food is food, but now it's starting to taste a little bit different, like eggs and bacon and biscuits and gravy and sausages. Yum, yum, yum.
Yum. You can actually taste it more now.
Yeah. It's amazing how much that palate makes a difference. So yeah, it's a real shame. So my smile, it's a little different.
I mean, it looks about the same, kind of.
It does?
Well, I don't know. I guess. Never mind. It looks totally different.
Well, there needs to be another adjustment. I'm going in the morning, and I know that's why everybody showed up tonight is to hear about Russell's implants. So thank you very much. I know it's enlightening. Anyway.
Oh, here we go. Here's Eric. Oh, you see it. You just missed it.
What's going on?
We're talking about teeth and dentures and implants and books and trying to get people out there to new people that didn't know us, because I'm thinking, okay, well, having the three of us on is a little bit different. So hello, Eric.
How are you doing, everybody?
Hello. Thank you so much for joining and filling in for Joe, who's sick. That's so horrible.
It is.
He's actually pretty sick, so
we understand. Yeah. Not
Yeah.
good at all. So
No.
I guess are we ready to kick this thing off? Let's do it. Everybody's
Yeah.
wondering, what the hell y'all doing?
give me
Oh
two-
wait, he left.
Oh, he left.
That's okay.
I had to go off of my phone
Oh.
because both of my laptops will not support whatever it is that I'm doing.
Strange.
You
Yeah,
need to talk to IT. Do you have IT people?
I know. I'm like, you know what? I decided right now. I said I'm just gonna try my phone to see what it does, and my phone said it was okay. So
Yeah, that's okay. We just can't see you. There we go.
We can see his mic.
there we go. So I literally had to connect everything to my. Somehow I figured out how to connect everything to my phone. I said, let's do it.
Is that your new office, Eric?
This is my new office.
Kaylee's got a new office. Both of you are in Arizona. Both of you just got into new houses. Except Eric, you're not pregnant. She is.
No, not no. Let's hope.
You never know.
Not
These days, right?
Well, you guys just had a baby. Well, wait. I keep thinking you guys just had a baby, but your baby's 2 now, right? Or 3?
He's 2.
Yeah.
3, but he's actually 2.
Oh, gotcha. Oh, that's so fun. All right, let's talk fixed ops trends, because you've been traveling all over. So I want to know what the biggest trend you're seeing right now. Is it something new that we're not talking about, or is it just that constantly the same stuff, or what are you seeing out there, Eric?
I am seeing an energy that I really like right now. What I'm seeing is fixed ops directors, owners of stores begin to bring in people to train their staff. I'm speaking to directors and management, and they're saying, we understand, we know how to run the business, to train the people. We know what we don't know. And it's one of the things I've heard it like 3 times already. And we know what we don't know. And being able to run the store and being able to have the patience to train somebody to properly put them in front of a customer takes a long time. And to me, that's one of the exciting parts, is to see the growth in people, to not just put them out in front of a chair and not just say, we'll train them over the next 3 to 6 months. If not, they're out. They're actually bringing in people to train in the store, and in the experience for customers now, where we used to have 5 categories, now we have to have 20 different categories to train on for somebody to provide a successful experience.
Well, I gotta say something. I'm honored and blessed, one, to know Kaylee and Eric, but I met Eric about 2 years ago on several different Zoom calls, and it took a while for the fixed ops crew to warm up to me, because I'm a vendor and I'm from the variable side, but I think I fit in as family now.
You are family, definitely.
Thank you very much. And I met Eric and Joe, I think at the same time. It may have been on Mastermind, and then they started this Service Drive Live on Sunday mornings, and Eric came from International Autos and is now working with National Auto Care, but it's got a short name called what is it called?
It's called APCO.
APCO, that's what it is. But this guy is on fire. He's a trendsetter. He's enthusiastic. He has a lot of energy, and he knows what the hell he's talking about. Okay, he's a family man. He believes in doing things right, and everything that he does is about the customer, the guest, the client, whatever verbiage is used out there. And now he's on the national circuit, turning that energy, instead of just at the stores that he was overseeing, to everybody. And I think you've been at a couple months now, 2 or 3 months, and it's going really well.
Oh, thank you, Russell. Appreciate the kind words. It is going great. Too many times we don't give credit to the companies and how they onboard and how they support us. And APCO Holdings does just an amazing job at making you not only feel like family, but providing you with the support you need to perform. And that was key for me. I wanted to make sure that was, something I had, and they didn't they didn't deliver my expectations. They exceeded whatever expectation I could
Wow.
imagine. Till this day, it's amazing.
Oh, that's amazing. And I bet it's an amazing feeling to be able to really impact more than just a few stores. Like you're able to take your energy and what you are really good at and really help more than just the group you were with. So,
It's a dream come true. I say it, and I pinch myself in the morning, because I wanted to be able. One of the things that I talk to advisors on when I'm in front of them is I considered myself once the worst advisor known to mankind. And the reason for that was because I didn't have the proper guidance. Many people don't know that I had a first mentor, that taught me a skill set in order to create an employee, which I call process. And when you employ that process, they become something that you work, not something that's working you. And being able to connect with advisors across the country, my goal is in my entire career, I'm like, if I could just help one person, I've done my part. So I wake up with passion and every single day to jump out there with energy and be able to help and change people's lives.
and you're right. I am seeing that with fixed ops directors and even dealers reaching out and looking for training and support, especially for parts managers. Because the same thing, they've always been just put into that position and expected to just do the job when it does require training and support to really learn the job.
I used to go back into the year 2000. I'm going to go even a little bit earlier back, or I should say later, 2010. Um, the amount of customizing you have to do and tailoring for each person when they come in is different within the same brand, even driving the same vehicle. There's different type of people, and as an advisor, you have to know which hat you're going to put on. You can either get the executive that says, I don't have time for you. You can have a mom coming with two kids. You could have somebody who says, no, I'm technical. I want to know everything about the vehicle. And that advisor has to be able to switch their personality to connect with everybody, to create that trust and that relationship we ask for, and then to be able to deliver the experience. So we have to, when we're training, I have to have the advisor's personality be open to saying, okay, we're going to learn different types of people in order for you as an advisor to have a better experience in your day.
What happens when what's the question? Like if an advisor, like, is there a point where they're not the right fit? Like, do you ever come across like they're just not going to be the right person for the job?
I refuse to accept that. You know what? I have one person in my mind. I won't say that person's name out loud. But I was pulled over to the side and I was told, what are you doing? Why are you turning this person into an advisor? I said, because when that person asked me and for help to change their lives, I said, I want to be able to help. And if I fail, I'm going to fail myself, but I'm not going to fail that person.
Right.
So till this day, successful service advisor, lead running the service drive, making a ton of money, making not only a ton of money for themselves, but they're making a ton of money for the store. And every now and then I'll get the text message or the joke, and here we are telling you not to turn this person into an advisor. I think when you start to help and you change that position from the service department, from making money to serving people, it just becomes something that's addicting. To help and to see the smile on people's faces, you just all of a sudden you turn into this different person and you just go at it for helping people. And that's when you turn from good to great as an advisor.
Yeah, and it sounds like that person was willing, like wanting the help.
Yes, that's a big part too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Russell, add something.
When the student's ready, the teacher will appear. Your enthusiasm is contagious, and people want to be around that. And when somebody emerges, like Kaylee was talking about, when somebody wants it, then you can take them and mold them because they'll listen to you. And I know there's a lot of people out there that aren't like that. They're just showing up, but there's a paradigm shift taking place in fixed operations all over the country, particularly post-COVID. Things are changing. Yes, I understand sales sells it and service keeps it, but there's a lot more to it than that. Bridging the gap between service and sales, I see that closing. People getting on board. A lot of times, fixed operations is the single largest money producer or revenue producer in the store. And if it's not the first, it's certainly the second. I know sales has been really good the last 3 years. A lot of that's changing as we speak. But I think a lot of people are starting to understand there's a lot to this. And if you have the right attitude and you just have a high school diploma, sometimes you don't even need that. I mean, sky's the limit, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm glad you mentioned that because I was having a conversation with a dealership owner, and the vision he has was amazing. He was telling me we had record sales over the past 2 to 3 years. He goes, now, if I'm smart and I could service those customers, I can double my record in the next 5 to 10 years. So he's thinking ahead, saying those cars are now coming back in for service. The retention portion is going to be in my service department to keep them buying a second, third, and fourth vehicle while adding new customers to his base. I'm like, brilliant. He goes, so I'm working now. He goes, we're putting in the training now for it to take effect over the next 3 to 5 years. And I just received a phone call Monday, and check out this phone call. This manager calls me and says, when do you have time to fly out to my store? I need you to work with one person. The store is willing to fly me out to work with one person to help them train because they believe that much in this person. I'm like, this is a new era. This is a new stage of people investing in the service drive, and I love it. I love to see it.
Are you going to do it?
Absolutely. I sent them a calendar, so let's make this happen right away.
Oh, that's awesome. Because that's what we were just talking about, Russell, before we went live, is like putting in that work now so that you're preparing for like what is coming.
Yeah. Kaylee and I were talking about that. Maybe part of it even, no, right before we went live,
Yeah.
we were just kind of talking about business and stuff like that. And, chasing the dream and how things are going. And I was telling her about, I'm a pretty excited, motivating guy, but last Friday I had a moment where, cause I get up really early, like at 3:50 every morning, and I'm online at 4:30. I didn't want to get up. I mean, I had a brutal week, and my self-talk kicked in, said, no, get your up, and get after it, because it's the next phone call. It's the next meeting. It's just around the corner. Keep giving up. Don't ever give up. Keep going, because God's got this thing. I'm a huge believer in God, but I really do believe that it happens in His time, not or her time, whatever. But it does happen if you keep showing up every day and serving and helping other people get what they want. You're going to get what you want eventually. Do you believe that also, Eric?
Absolutely. As a matter of fact, I have this challenge that I'm putting in my head together, and it's something that I'm working on for 2024. A lot of times we talk about the one percenters. I'm sure we've heard it all across our show. And the one thing that I'm challenging myself is I'm going to challenge the one percenters to turn it into a 2%. Can we help somebody else and turn that 1% into 2? That's all I'm asking for. I'm not asking for 1 to 5.
Sure.
Just being able to create or help the next person, because what's going to happen? That's going to infect somebody else, and that's contagious. I want to be able for 2024 to tell leaders, bring somebody else in, help somebody understand how they can become successful. And successful is different to everybody. It's not all about money. It's not all about position or titles, but help that person reach success to the definition of that person.
Good point. It's different for every individual. And talking about trends, things are moving really fast. You talked about, there's a lot of challenges out there. Technicians, advisors, the defection rate, really important. Taking that business back from the salivating independents out there and etc., which we've done to ourselves. And it maybe because I'm so close to it, maybe and Kaylee and as well as you, but there is something going on. People are starting to wake up and pay attention, and our people are not just numbers anymore. We're starting to adapt to the Gen Zs, the Gen Ys, the millennials, the alphas, and all the other out there on how to actually work with them and get them to perform at optimal levels. And everybody's got a different why. Do you encounter that a lot out there in as you travel? And
weekly, seeing the shortage of technicians, empty racks. You walk into a store and you see it. It's hard to get advisors in today's market, and stores are changing their culture. They are changing on how they hire. One of the big thing right now that I'm seeing is people are starting to offer time off in their hiring.
Wait a minute. Say that again.
People are starting to offer time off. That is a big thing now. But we have to learn, right?
That should be a normal thing.
Right. The automotive industry is not known for that.
So they're offering them time off, except that if you take it, they're going to guilt you still, or is it really something they allow you to do? Right?
You're actually going to get the time off.
Yeah. And
you're not going to feel bad about it.
It's not the pressure point of really, can you take another day off? No, it's important. To me, it's such a value. I still remember the time when, I was in the store and I found out that I had a technician there, and it was the first day of his first child's kindergarten day. And I walk out to him, I was upset. What are you doing here? I said, go back to your family, take your son to school, and when you're done, you're going to pick them up and take them out for a Happy Meal, celebrate the day. Those are memories, and those are moments from a business standpoint that employees become loyal. They love that more than whatever somebody else is holding up, because they know that's something you can't purchase, that's something you can't pay. And I think that's going to be one of the biggest things moving forward is, what can companies offer that other companies cannot buy? Mm-hmm. And when that comes together, I think the automotive industry is doing the best they can right now in changing and pivoting to be able to change their ways and how we hire and attract talent to our stores.
Mm-hmm. True.
Yeah. I think that's a great point. We are shifting the way that we're doing things on top of providing training and support. Wendy's here. Here we go.
Hello, Wendy.
Hey, Wendy, how you doing?
Several people. We got Charity and Patrick and Wendy, and there was a couple of other people. Is it Tavis or Travis?
Tavis.
Tavis, welcome. Glad you're here.
Patrick.
Yep. So let me ask you. No, I'll let you go, Kaylee. It buzzed over my head. So, I'm starting to see, I've seen this in some stores, daycares, all kinds of things to make it easy for the employee. So I know that sometimes people leave for other opportunities, and I get it. And maybe it's $3 or $4 an hour difference. And I get probably that, does happen, but is that really the reason? Or by and large, are they unhappy with the management team? What are you seeing out there, Eric?
You have to be able to recognize your staff. You have to understand, and this is where the management side and the leadership side of being able to know your people means so much. You are going to have some good staff members that they do look at the dollar because their life is different. You have to be able to tailor it. And then there's going to be the side that says, no, I want to be able to make sure I have a career path. Where does my growth stop at this company? That's big.
Or yes or no. Okay.
Uh-oh. We lost his audio.
Technical difficulties in the technology age.
Hang on.
Are we there?
Yeah, you're
now
here.
Okay.
We lost you at hello.
Okay.
It was a good point too. I was like,
yes, it was such a great point. I don't know who heard what. If you need me to rewind, I'll go back to it.
Rewind.
All right. So one of the things I was talking about was as a leader, this is where it's important to know your people. You do have great employees that focus on the money because that's what their life tells them they have to focus on. Then you have employees that want to know where their ceiling is, what's their career path, is there a stopping point? What do I have to do to reach the next level? And then I always go back to there's the person who doesn't want to look at social media and see every friend and family member enjoying vacations and they're not able to. So those one-on-ones with employees, those 2-3 minute conversations per day, or if you're able to do them at a minimum a week, that's valuable because this employee may be money driven, but my other employee may be career path driven. So I have to be able to balance out both. And there has been times when I'd sat both of them down and I say, look, I'm not going to be able to provide this and this for you and this for you. We want to balance it out. I want everybody happy. What makes you happy? And one of my first questions is, what is your driver? And from my perspective, my driver is going to be, what's my career path? I want to know where the ceiling is, and I want to be able to break it. And money to me is a second situation because I can adapt my lifestyle, but I want to be able to make sure that I'm able to, with my family, and this is one of the things that I'm very careful with is saying the word I, because in our careers, it's my wife does so much, taking care of the children, getting them to school, making sure the house is clean so that I can go out to work. And at that, to me, that's where the career path is so important. So same things with employees is what's important to you. If you want to spend time with your family, then I want to make sure I provide that.
Excellent.
That was, yeah, great point.
I get very passionate about these subjects. My apologies if I went too far there.
No. I think it was great. I was just taking it all in, and I'm trying to I'm like thinking about how I am. I'm like, what am I driven? Like, what am I driven by? I don't know. I feel like I'm driven by all the things, not just one.
Yeah. I know that there's a time in my life where it was all about chasing the dollar, right? And I ended up moving from a dealership in Sherman, Texas to Amarillo for a phenomenal opportunity that almost cost me my marriage because I worked 18 hours a day, 6 days a week. And it got to the almost a year later, give or take a week to the day, I left and came back because I realized it's not about the money. I was losing my mind. I was losing my family. My kids were angry and upset because I was never there. And literally, they were all asleep, and I was up before they got up. And it's like you can't do that. So when people, money's important, don't get me wrong, but it is not. It cannot be the single motivating factor. My experience personally with that is it initially it was until I found out it wasn't, and now it's about balance. It's about giving in, pouring, loving people where they're at. And I think part of your training, if I heard you earlier, you find out their motivating factors, you find out their whys, and understand that if they want help, you're there to help them. But this is your style, and this is how you're going to get it done. This is what made you successful, and this is going to be how you also can be successful. Is that right, Eric?
That's correct. One of the things that we do for our training is, well, let's just use a topic. Let's call it the multi-point. Let's walk around. The walk around is probably one of the beginning parts of the service drive process. So I can go out and teach a walk around process. Fantastic. I have 10 different people in front of me. And out of those 10 people, none of them connected. So what I like to do is we use a day in advance and we go out there and we sit standing in the service drive with the service advisors. And I find out what they like, what they don't like. And then we teach the process according to how the advisor connects with it so that they're able to perform it.
Great stuff.
And that's the connection as a trainer that you have, but you have to have a lot of passion, a lot of patience, because the service advisors at first, you're just another trainer. You're just here to do your check mark and go. No, I'm here because I want to help you and I want you to succeed. So you have to be patient with that approach, start learning about the person, and then once we bring it together, and we're confident enough. Now let's talk about the walk around. Why don't you like to walk around? And the reason why I talk about that is because at the beginning, when I was that advisor that I told you that I was the worst known to mankind, I did not like the walk around. It's not until somebody pulled me over to the side and said, if you don't respect the walk around, service advising won't respect you back. And then you start to learn it. So I try to do that in a different format, but that's how we try to connect with advisors to have them perform the process.
I love it.
That makes sense. I think, I lost it. Okay, Russell, help me out. I have a question.
Okay, you remember what it was? See, this is why we
No,
text.
I'll remember.
Great information. It's
I
probably.
remember.
Go ahead.
Okay. Basically what you were saying, it's like explaining the why and like finding out why they don't like it or making them understand like the reason. Because like I feel like you can't just like show someone to do something and expect them to do it. You have to explain why it's important and figure out what they don't, like you said, what they don't like about it. So
yeah, in an advisor's world, there's so many points. It's not only money, it could be time, it could be stress, it could be, I don't get to take a lunch, or it could be I never leave on time. Well, okay, now if this is the part that's difficult, this is how the walk around helps this part of your day. Oh, really? Yes, the walk around, if you do it right and you build trust, it lowers the stress through your day. The walk around also makes your day more organized. So I have to figure out what part of the day makes an advisor's life tough, and then I grab the process and say, this is how it helps improve that part. And as an advisor, there's 5, there's 10 steps, whatever the steps are. By skipping a step, it's going to add stress to the rest of your day.
Yep.
Hey, Eric, how important is it to look somebody in the eye and say, welcome or hello, my name is, and your name is what?
Oh my God, it is
It's so simple, right?
I tell people, look at my last name. Do you think I want somebody saying Mr. whatever that says, right? And people look at it and then they no, tell me what your name is. I want to be able to call you by a particular name, and then ask me, who are you? And I'll tell you, my name is Eric. Don't try to say my last name. So for me, that training part is very simple because my last name helps me quite a bit. And
so how do you pronounce your last name so everybody can know?
I'm going to tell people the best way I know how to train it. I'm like, you get cowboys that say howdy, and all you have to add is gee, howdy gee.
Howdy gee, Eric, howdy gee.
There you go.
I love it.
Yeah, it's, and I use this training. I just trained it yesterday. I tell people, put up a mirror in your house, somewhere in the house. I put up a mirror in my garage. I built a service drive in my garage about 10, 15 years ago. And I put a mirror up, and when I'm walking up to the mirror, I think I'm smiling, and I think my body language says I'm here to help. And you'd be surprised how many times you say welcome, but you have a straight face, and your body language says I'm in a hurry, I need to get you out. So using that mirror to walk up to the person, you're like, wow, I really have to smile and change my body language. And saying the word welcome in combination with that is so powerful to your customers.
People pick up on it, don't they? Immediately.
They do.
They do. And so do you see service advisors putting mirrors on their desks so they can
I haven't seen one yet. I know there is an advisor out there in the country who has it. I'm sure there is. And if they do, please send it to me through LinkedIn or text message. But I would love to see that. I'm sure there's somebody out there who takes their craft to the next level. And every other teammate around them wonders, how do they do it? How do they make so much money? How does everybody come ask for them? It's because they take it to the next level in their craft.
Yeah. No, that's a great point, because I remember back in my Subway days, we always had to say, whenever the door opened, you had to say, welcome to Subway. And I just remember them, like, if your head's down or you don't acknowledge them, you still say it. It's like, you're not really saying it. It's like, what's the point? You have to say it with a smile.
I'll tell you what, here's a good training ground if you want, Chick-fil-A. Boy, that's a good place to get some people that are hungry. And I'm telling you. So,
and what is Chick-fil-A known for? It's my pleasure. Every time they say it, it's my pleasure. And it's almost at the point where if you don't hear my pleasure, you're wondering, are they mad? Are they upset?
Yeah. Somebody's having a bad day.
Yes.
So, Eric, you went from, and I worked with you myself because my company worked with one of the stores that you oversaw. and you're a go-getter, you're a trendsetter, out of the box, wanting to talk and not just to get information. And you had such an impact on the people that you worked with, and now it's like, okay, you're national. So that's got to be that's got to be extremely fulfilling, because I know every place you go into, maybe not everybody welcomes you that way, but I know a lot of people do, and you have an impact on people. Want to be accountable, they want to learn more, they really do. Otherwise, why are they there? And I guess there's some people that are there like that. But are you particularly, you mentioned earlier, oh, he's just here to train, check the boxes, and he's off? They don't think that way after you're done, do they?
No, I make sure I say my story to every writer in front of me, and I make sure I let them know that I'm living my dream job. Years ago, I said it. I said my next level up isn't going to be um, director, COO, none of that. I said I want to train. I want to go out and help people. I want to motivate. So after I'm done talking to them, they look at me and they go, "Oh wow, you're real. You're actually in this because you love doing this and you've done this before." Yes, I said I'm in here because I actually love doing this. And next time I come out and visit, and it just happened to me 2 weeks ago. Writer comes up to me, gives me a big old hug out of nowhere, and I'm like, "Hey, how's it going?" He goes, "You came in here and you told me I wasn't up to par. I was down, I think it was 6 or 7 tenths per RO. In 2 months, this young man went up 6, 7 tenths per RO. It's amazing." I said, "Now let's do the math per how many ROs you write in a year and how much is this going to help you?" And I didn't do much different. All I did was let him know, "You're not where you're supposed to be. I know you can do it. I'm going to let you figure it out. But next time I come," I had asked him for 1 to 2 tenths. I said, "Next time I come out, I just want to see 1 to 2 tenths." He went up 0.6 or 0.7 tenths per RO. And the best thing of it, I got a hug out of it. That was awesome. So that was
Yeah.
such a great feeling.
Yeah. That's got to make you feel good about what you do. And I know you're on the road and traveling, and your wife's taking care of the kids and doing that kind of stuff, but you have probably more balance. But so I keep thinking of the three amigos, because I saw a lot of pictures with Dave Foy and Corey Smith as well. And you guys are out there just getting it done, man. What a great organization too.
It is such when we challenge each other, we motivate each other. Constant. Our text message chain is motivation. Let's get it done. It is, hey, we have this. I seen this cutting edge technique. Hey, I seen this. This doesn't work. I mean, it is constant. So to be, to surround myself with those type of people, it is awesome. I just, like I said, I love what I'm doing. I love the people that I'm around, and the company that we're with is it's definitely a go-getter situation.
Excellent. Yeah. Great
Yeah.
guys, great company. And I know all three of you very well. And you're about not just checking the boxes, you're about really having an impact and helping people that want it go to the next level. Maybe the next time you go in, because you keep going back, the next time you go in, those people that were reluctant because of previous experiences or whatever, now it's like, hey, I want some of this too.
Yeah, and it's the relationships that you're building along so many stores across the country. We just made this big move from Chicago to Arizona. The support that I was receiving along the way, not only from the company, I had stores texting me. I had one advisor text me babysitters because they know we didn't have family around here. So they texted me local babysitters to
I
make
love
sure me
it.
and my wife could have a night out. And I'm like, this is awesome. So to see that happening and see how it's building, it's like I said, I keep saying it over and over, but it is a dream come true for that situation for me.
That's great
You've
stuff.
created a group of the people you want to be around. It's and the other two people we're talking about are Corey and Dave Foy, right? Because I don't think we mentioned their.
No, and then if I didn't, I'm sorry, but I call them my brothers. But Corey Smith and Dave Foy, those guys are amazing. I met Dave Foy in person for the first time, probably about 3 months ago. We just sat down like we've known each other our whole lives and just got right into it, and it was awesome. Corey Smith, we've known each other now for about 3 years now, and we met along the way. But the leadership that those gentlemen carry and the push that they do
Powerful.
is, yeah, that's a great word. Thank you, Russ. I couldn't figure out the word, but that's the great word. It's powerful.
Well, you are. I mean, I know all of you very well, and it is. I met all three of you and spent time with you. You at SDL last year, first deal. It's really kind of weird. I understand what you're saying. I think everybody else on here does as well. The first time you sat down with it, it's like you're sitting. It's like you've been best friends. That's the pre to post pandemic and what. Look, this kind of stuff didn't exist 3 years ago. Not
No.
level. I mean, it's like so. Matter of fact, Charity, she's our chief marketing officer. I think it was 2 years before I ever met her in person at NADA. That was the first time that I met her, because we're all virtual and we got people from Hawaii, East Coast, West Coast, and all points in between. And some of them I still haven't met. It's incredible.
And you know what I love about what we're doing with our industry right now is, everybody has their own space, and we respect it. We all join together. We all help each other out for the sake of putting out information to other people so they could pick up small tidbits and be able to improve their business. You have your podcast. We have our community. Kaylee, what you're doing is amazing to me. The growth you've had over the last year or two has just been wow. And I remember one of the first times when you talked to us about it, saying you were going to go for it. And look what's happening. And all of us will get together on one screen to be able to share best practices with everybody. Corey's doing amazing with Fixed Ops 5, and Dave Foy as well. But that's what I like about us, is that we don't hold back just on, well, it has to be unique to this particular name, brand, or podcast. We're willing to come together for the greater good.
That's right.
Exactly. Because that's what our industry has always lacked, is the content and just information. By us getting together, this is just perfect. We've gone way over time though. But this is good because we're like just having a conversation. I love it.
Yeah, I've enjoyed it. It's been great.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for having me on. Much appreciated. Thank you.
Eric,
yes,
howdy.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Yeah. And well, thank you, Kaylee, and all of you out there that were making comments and showed up for all the love and support. Most of you, I know, and we're really glad you showed up for Kaylee tonight, because she is really rocking. Kaylee, your show is really taking, and just from an idea, a lot of people want to do podcasts. Look, and I'm sure you just get started. You figure it out as you go, right? Yeah.
You just do it. You don't be afraid of it being too perfect or being too perfect. There's one saying I have, and I learned it from somebody. Be afraid and fearful of the regret of not doing it. Go ahead and do it. You have enough support out there for everybody to help you out.
Absolutely.
Right on, Eric.
There's another quote that's I think it's on a fortune cookie I saw. It was like basically, failing is not trying at all. Right? Is that how it goes?
Right.
I love that one.
So I have an acronym for FAIL, and that's the first attempt in learning. That's all it is.
Ooh, I like that. Nice.
I stole it from somebody. Nothing's really original I have, but it's good stuff.
At least you're admitting it. That's good. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for the great show.
Thanks,
Kaylee. Thank you very much for having me.
Eric. Great show.
Appreciate it. Thank you.